Welcome to our segment on tolerating others wearing a mask, which is part of our overall series on viral health and safety skills. I'm Julie Swanson, I'm the Life Skills Lady, and I'm joined by Amy Hooray, a licensed behavior analyst and a clinical director at Milestones Behavioral Services. We're going to talk about the principles of shaping and reinforcement in this video. We do have a separate video on those principles, so feel free to watch those. Also, I encourage you to work with your school's IEP team, your special education team, on any of these skills. And don't be shy to ask for parent training so you're on the same page as what your school team is doing as far as how you're teaching these skills. Amy, let's get right into tolerating others wearing a mask.
Hi, Julie. Thanks for having me. So you first want to identify what your learner's response is to others wearing a mask. Are they asking the person wearing the mask to take it off? Are they trying to remove it themselves? Or are they engaging in other problem behaviors such as tantrum, hurting themselves, or attempting to hurt others? And so you really need to identify where your child is to get an idea of where to start for your learner to start to tolerate others wearing a mask. So once you've identified that, you want to start baby steps. You have to start where your learner is. And so if my learner is, engaging in a tantrum every time he or she sees somebody wearing a mask, I need to start there. So what do? I need to first expose them to others wearing a mask. And I could do that in several ways. One, by myself wearing a mask around the house for short periods of time, or potentially showing pictures, showing videos, creating a social story and talking about others wearing a mask, which may include pictures. So you need to really start where your student or your learner is in small baby steps. And one process you can use is shaping. And so shaping is differentially reinforcing small baby steps to an end target. So my end target is my learner tolerating me wearing a mask. So what do I have to do to get there? I have to slowly shape that behavior into long periods of time. So I need my learner to be okay with me having a mask on for the duration of a grocery trip or the duration of a visit, at grandma's house. So to do that, I have to start small. And I also need to provide reinforcement for my learner to increase the likelihood that they're going to continue to engage in this behavior with me. So I'm going to first start 3 seconds. My learner needs to tolerate 3 seconds of me wearing a mask, maybe just standing in our kitchen. 1, 2, 3, woo, you did it. I'm going to deliver some praise statements. I'm going to have a celebration, a party. Wow, you did a really good job. And if I've identified a reinforcer, then I can also provide that in addition to the praise statements. But you want to have a big party. Once they've accomplished that small increment of time, 3 seconds, part of the shaping process is then you start to increase that expectation. So instead of 3 seconds, I'm going to go 5 seconds. They've been successful at 5 seconds. I'm going to move to 10 seconds. And so I'm slowly shaping the success of my learner to the end target of me wearing a mask without my learner engaging in tantrum behavior.
So it sounds like you start slowly and you continue to practice, and keep stretching out the time that they can tolerate it and praising, essentially. You mentioned in there, it sounded very technical, so I want you to back up and explain it. You talked about differentially reinforcing someone. That sounds very technical. What did you mean by that?
So by differentially reinforcing, I'm talking about, so my learner is tolerating me. So I'm going to, number one, I'm going to deliver, maybe it's the learner's favorite juice or favorite chip or favorite cookie, and I'm going to provide that praise statement. So I'm providing different forms of reinforcement for my learner.
Okay, so you could pair a praise statement with the cookie as an example, just as an example. Okay, thank you so much for that explanation. So is that the end of the steps to doing it, or do we now look to generalize that? How do we wrap this up
So
as far as the skill?
within teaching new skills to our learners, we always want to generalize it. It doesn't do a learner any good if they can just do that single targeted behavior with me. They also need to do it with dad and siblings and teachers and grandma and grandpa. And so it's really important within the process too, to understand that it's not a quick process. And so you need to take your time and do it in, throughout the day, throughout different parts of the day, throughout different parts of the house, or whatever environment you're within, and with different people. And so that's where generalization comes in. Initially, it might be beneficial to the learner to start with one person, but you need to expand it, because for the child just to be able to do it with one person probably wouldn't be your end goal.
Exactly. Well, thank you, Amy. And again, please reach out to your school team and have them help you with these with teaching this new skill, and so that all parties can all be on the same page. Thank you.
Thanks, Julie.